There's a button on either side of the bag on the bottom. Push them both in, comes right out. You unzip the bag. You dump everything out. You can hose it out if it's really nasty. You can hose it out. If it's got algae in it, you can spray it with some Clorox bleach spray. And let it sit for a little bit and then rinse it. When you put it back on, the back of the cleaner, the way to tell the front from the back is the back has a tail. We want to put the word Polaris to the front of the cleaner, all right? So we know the back has a tail, so we know this is the front. Just simply put it in, push down, it snaps in, pull the bag up, attach the bag clip back to the hose, like that, and we're going to set the cleaner. What were the levels, Gar?
0.3, 0.6.
All right, needs to be shot. Yep. What was the cyanuric acid?
90.
All right, so when you put the cleaner back in, take it down, either down to the shallow or the deep end, doesn't matter which. You can throw your hose out, never throw your cleaner out. And you always, whenever you take this out, check your screen just to make sure it's not clogged. If it is, you can hose it out. And we're going to stick it right in the wall here. What I do is I hold the black button up, push in towards the wall, and then turn clockwise. You'll see the O-ring disappearing.
Yep.
And then you just give it a little tug, make sure it's in there. You'll know if you didn't put it in right, when you turn it on,
it won't.
It'll blow right out. If it blows right out, no big deal. Turn it off, come back, do it again.
Okay.
Once you get, I mean, I still do it. I still do it every once in a while when I put it in and it blows out. I mean,
blow out mean it actually blows out.
Yeah, it'll actually, the whole hose will blow out into the pool, and you'll have to fish it back. Turn off. I mean, if the motor's on, you can't put that in the wall. There's too much pressure. So you need to shut the, if your cleaner motor's on.
And then taking it out, the same thing, just turn it, the black part back to.
Right. Don't mix it.
Two calibrations, twice high.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's causing a chlorine demand problem now. So just use the shock by itself. No, don't dissolve it. Because all these stains, I want you to broadcast it right over the stains. It'll take them right out.
Gotcha.
Same thing if there's any stains in the spot.
What life expectancy of a cleaner? I have no idea. When he got it.
They need to be worked on. I mean, it's
2
a
years,
good idea.
5 years.
Without work, I would suggest sending it in every 3 years for
sending in
at the winter time. If
you look on the winter,
if you look on the winter contract, it'll say cleaner inspection. Basically, we pull the cleaners completely apart. We test them at our shop. The common things that go are,
I think I did that last year. I don't remember.
Tires, we can check.
Okay.
Your tires, wheel bearings, stuff like that. We only replace what's necessary. I don't replace things that are going to break a year from that, because we'll just wait till it breaks. There's no sense in spending money before you have to.
Right.
If it gets to the point where, all right, this is going to cost like $175 to fix, I'm probably just going to tell you to go online and buy a new cleaner.
Okay. And there's different kinds, but
that's the best. That's the best.
Okay.
For the money, that is the best cleaner that is made.
Okay.
So, there are other cleaners that cost more money that are just like, it's like getting a Porsche.
Right, okay.
Like, it's faster, but it's not a better cleaner.
Right. Yeah. No,
this thing for its money.
Perfect for me.
For its money, you can get that cleaner online for $410, and that's cheaper. That's $75 cheaper than my cost. From a distributor. So I don't even sell, the only cleaners I sell now are robotics, which are different. They're for people who don't have pumps for their cleaner. Or who, if their pump burned out, they don't want to spend the extra money to buy another pump.
Got it.
They want to just use a robotic cleaner.
So the pump there, so the pump just gives it more.
Yeah, that pump gives that all its flow. Now,
so if that wasn't on,
it
would just sit there.
It just sits there. That's all it does. It's just sitting there right now, but it's not on.
Okay. Right. And to get it looked at is that recommended to get it looked at?
Years.
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years, send it to us.
Okay. So you'll be able to tell me if I'll call.
Yeah.
Your wife
and also if you notice that it's not running well, if it's really just not cleaning the pool well, then make sure that year you send it back.
Got it. Okay.
Because a lot of times a simple tune-up, it might cost you $75 to $100 with bearings and tires and whatever else it means. But a lot of times that $100 can make your cleaner run like new again.
Okay.
So I can almost guarantee it wasn't in this year because of the tail is pretty worn.
Okay.
So if that's something that we would have addressed.
Okay.
If we would have saw that. So that's your backwashing. Really, the most important part of your backwashing is don't forget to put your DE in. If you backwash and you don't put DE in about 2 or 3 days, that pool will be cloudy, then it will be green, then you'll be calling me like, I think I did something wrong.
All right.
And your starting pressure is 6 psi.
Let me get over there.
That's on the gauge. It's kind of hard to see. This gauge is kind of... I can get a new gauge for you so you can actually see it.
All right.
But it's 6 psi.
Oh, okay.
That first mark is fine.
So
when you get to 12 to 14, you'd want to backwash.
And that would just go up naturally over
It'll go
time?
up when it gets dirty, yeah.
When it gets dirty.
Now, if you're keeping the pool clean, and you don't have any algae problems, and you have us servicing it, then you're probably never even going to see that.
Then you're saying the once a month, right? Because
Yeah,
it's the earlier of.
Yeah, once a
All right.
month, because we know if people are swimming, we have swimmer waste, we have perspiration. Young kids are in it. We might have some other things in there. Deodorant, hair products, makeup, all that stuff is, like, when it comes off your bodies, is going into here. So, even though it's not making your pressure go up,
Right.
it's still gross.
Okay.
So that's why we backwash it. I have customers that we don't do maintenances on. That when I get out to winterize the pool, they go, "You know how many times I backwash my pool?" I go, "Let me guess, none."
Right.
And they go, "Yeah, I didn't waste any money in DE." And I was like, "Okay."
Right.
Do your kids swim in the pool?
Right.
Are you swimming in the pool? Because that is nasty. Because
Okay.
if you don't swim all year, then all right, who cares?
Right.
Nobody's swimming in it.
Right.
But then why even open your pool?
Right.
But if you have people swimming in it, all that nasty stuff
Right.
is in your filter. There's all the water that's in your pool is passing through there. Like, do you really want to?
Right.
Like, even if it's still sanitary, do you want to
It's
swim
gross.
in that?
Right.
It's gross.
Right. So just going back real quick. So the stuff that's coming in from the drains and the skim. The skimmer. All right. So the water. I always thought that the water comes through here just through the skimmers, but
No,
it's
it
both.
comes
It's
from
the drain
from
and the
bottom
skim.
too.
I got
and
it.
what that does when it
Well, how does that work? Oh, and then it goes back in.
It pulls it and puts it
Got-
right back into
all right,
your walls
okay,
and your
got
hot
it,
tub. That
okay.
actually heats your pool a little bit because the water at the bottom is colder than the water at the top.
Okay,
So it's taking
okay.
cold water, putting it back on top.
Oh, 'cause
and
the
then
sun.
that warmer water is going down. Yeah. So it kind of naturally is
Okay.
a solar heater.
Okay.
One thing too is when you're backwashing, remember we turn this off.
Right.
We don't want to turn it back on again until after we've added the DE. Because
Okay.
otherwise the DE can get in there and clog. You
Okay.
want to shut off the filter motor because we want to fill the chlorinator. To show you that. So with it shut off, there's a button on this side right here. You push the button in and that allows you to turn the lid. Hold your breath when you take the lid off just in case there's a lot of chlorine and a heavy chlorine smell. Because you don't want to inhale chlorine gas that could burn your lungs. It's not that bad. You can see that there's not much left in there.
Right.
Yeah, you can smell it now. Smell it? So you want to be careful about taking a big inhale of that.
Yes. Woo.
Okay, now you
That's
turn
strong.
this until you hear it click. Right there. Turn the filter back on.
So this is all part of the backwash process.
Well, this is once a week.
That is once a week.
You're once every 2 weeks. We check it once a week. If you're going to be doing it every 2 weeks, you should be able to make it the 2 weeks without having to fill it. So you probably won't have to do that.
How will I know if those?
If your chlorine levels drop down.
How will I
Or
know
if
that?
you check it. Well, if you're checking your water every,
okay.
you should be checking your water in the off week.
Okay.
Remember I told you
Yeah.
to get that test kit.
Right.
So when you turn the chlorinator back on, turn it all the way on so you hear that sound where it's going through there, and then you can back it back down. I think they had yours set at around 6, 5.5. So we'll leave it at that. That's
All right.
like 6.
All right. So if I'm doing this, if you're doing the backwash, I'd be doing that. Check that once a week, and I'd be able to
make sure there's chlorine in it.
And I'd be able to tell that if the chlorine level's low, or if
Yeah.
I open that up,
And there's no chlorine in it. Or if there's very little chlorine in it, then you want to put more in.
chlorine is it? I'm confused. Is it water in there, or is it actual chlorine?
No, it's the pups.
The okay.
Just
So
loaded the pups.
okay. So if there's no pucks in there,
Right, or if there's a very little pucks in there, you need to get more in. And
so
be
how'd you know
careful.
how much to put in?
Fill it up. Fill it up to the
Fill it
top.
up.
Yeah. Especially if you're going every 2 weeks, we're going to start loading that thing up as much as we can get in there to try to make it so that you don't have to do it. Right now, at every week, I normally wouldn't fill it that much. I'd fill it halfway up if we're doing it every week. just so when I open it, I don't get that
I see.
big blast of chlorine in my feet. We're gonna close that up.
So you check the water level. If I'm doing someone, I would check the water level and open that up.
Right. Yep. You're checking the chlorine level.
The
Not
chlorine
water.
level,
Yeah.
correct. Okay. If I do this myself, I guess you recommend doing it like at a set time each week to be consistent, like a
Yes.
Wednesday. I guess
Yep.
Wednesdays, because
Whatever day. Yeah, if you're
It would be
doing,
Wednesday.
If you're still doing it every other week,
I probably do that until if I can weed. It's like cigarettes. If I can weed myself off
Yeah.
it, then you know.
you smoke.
No, I'm kidding. Like that's my now. No, I've never touched one. I'm just saying.
But yeah, if you get and look, see, remember all them stains that were just in there?
Yeah,
Now you can see
that was my other
granular.
question I have for you guys. I don't know how you get it.
There's granular. We take out, we throw your shock in. Normally I would tell you to pre-dissolve your shock, but you have white plaster, so it's not going to hurt it by putting it on there directly, as long as we don't have anything in the water that will stain it. But see how it took out all those stains. Now you can see where he couldn't hit. You can see the chlorine still laying on the floor. That'll dissolve, but you can get stains out by adding chlorine, but you don't want to keep adding. Like, the problem is all the crap that falls in off these trees, it all stains. It all leaves those little stains in there. But so you'll see whenever we shock, you'll notice the next day it's probably nice and clean and
Yeah.
looking great. And then as soon as more crap falls
Right.
in there, it stains it. When you get replastered, most people go to a colored plaster.
How often?
More durable
You talking
finish.
that means draining the
That-
pool and getting.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole bottom. I mean, you're not bad yet. Well, actually, you're seeing gunite starting to come through now. See that gray patch over there?
Yeah.
Where it's really worn?
Yeah.
That's gunite coming through. That's the shell coming from underneath. Now, that will get worse and worse and worse. So when it comes time to replaster, there's different, you don't have to get white. There's other plasters that are colored that also offer a longer warranty. They have, 5-year, 10-year warranties on the different
How often
brands.
people replaster their?
Really depends on how you've kept the water. Plaster in general lasts about 15 to 20 years.
Oh,
if
really?
The water's kept well, yeah. No, I don't know.
That's got to be a pricey.
Yeah, for a pool this size, you're probably up around